Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. And welcome to the Geektastic Show. Yes, this is the show for every geek and every nerd who was ever born. You know, those of us who kind of are in our rooms going through the internet, you know, blogging about TV shows and movies and comics and anything else geeky and nerdy. This is the show for you. Right, so Aquaman's opening night box office is tremendous. Over 13 million US dollars. Can you hear that, Collider? Can you hear that, Mr. Snyder, right? Yes, you can hear it, can't you? Don't cry too much. A DCEU film's going to make a lot of money. It may even make $1 billion globally. Are you going to cry? Boo-hoo. It's so sad when all your little plans and your toxicity don't work. And a DCEU film is actually successful. And some of you critics may not like it, but every single normal member of the public who's seen this film has loved it. End of story. I haven't heard one negative from anyone, any Joe or Jane public who's seen this film. So over 13 million is a great start. It's crushed Bumblebee, which I knew it would. I'm not sure about what's it called? What's that Disney film? Oh, Mary Poppins Returns. Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure how that's doing. That's going to be interesting. But I've got a feeling. Yeah. So very, very interesting, because all the hype about this period was that too many films were being released, and this could be bad for Aquaman. I never saw that. Aquaman is a major film. James Wan is a major director, and you know, Jason Momoa is so popular. Even if Aquaman wasn't a good film, which it is, people would have still flocked for this movie. Jason Momoa is an everyman. Jason Momoa is the Rocky Balboa of actors, if you like. He's the people's champion, isn't he? This is why I like him, guys. There's something so ordinary about him, something so everyday about him. And he really is a special man. His backing publicly of Zack Snyder is a beautiful thing. So really happy with that. Seen the film twice now. Pre-ordered it for 4K. Can't wait to get that. But have you noticed when you try and pre-order Amazon Prime Video, a movie on Amazon Prime Video, and it's Warner Brothers, you can't do it. I tried to do it with a Fantastic Beasts 2 as well. You can actually release the hard copy. Now, is this Warner Brothers' way of trying to get more hard copies sold? Maybe, I don't know, but eventually I'll get it. I like to have it on both kind of formats anyway. So yes, for any DCEU fan, for any DC fan who loves these movies, this is fantastic news. Doctor Who bloggers, I have a bone to pick with you. I really, really do. Stop looking down on the fandom. Big Blue Box Podcast. Is that what you're called? I love you. You seem like really nice guys. But at the end of the day, talking down about the fandom doesn't make you superior, because what you do is you never say your true feelings and you look down the rest of us for being honest. Ooh, how dare we? We're actually honest about something that we're watching, something we've invested our own hard-earned cash about. I mean, come on, guys. You're nice guys, but you try and be too nice, too fair, and you know you hated season 11. You know you don't like Whittaker as the Doctor. Stop pretending. You're just trying to milk it with your little videos and stuff so you can capture all the audience, the people who like it, don't like it. It's not going to work. The only way anyone doing this kind of stuff is going to prevail is honesty. The reason I love YouTube, the reason I love YouTubers, what makes me subscribe to channels and podcasters is honesty. Even if I don't agree with what they say, I respect you for being honest. This is why my channel is Honest Talk. If I like something, I like it. I'll tell you. If I don't, I don't. And if I upset people, you know, earlier today I had 366 subs. I must have upset someone with one of my videos, because now I've got 365. He or she's gone. I'm sorry about that. You are missing out, because when I get 1,000 subscribers, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to strip down to my boxers. Now, it's something I do all the time on my Instagram, by the way. But for you YouTube people, it's a bit of a treat. Well, maybe not a treat. Maybe not a treat because it isn't a great body. I'm not, you know. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. If I get 1,000 subscribers, I will do a strip down to my boxers, right? And what I will do, it will either be a rap or I'll be dancing to a tune. So that's what I'm going to... Actually, you can probably find ages ago when I first started this channel, there's one. But this is going to be a special one, right? So 1,000 subscribers, I will strip down to my boxers and dance in my boxers. Or, maybe even better, if I get 1,000 subscribers, I'll do a dare on here. One that you suggest it in the comments. I'll do a dare, right? On this channel, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Please just don't make me say I love Disney or something like that, because you know I despise them. So yes, basically, Doctor Who bloggers, I am so fed up of you. There's a few of you I could mention, but I'm not. I'm not going to be childish. All I'm going to say is stop looking down at parts of the fandom that are honest. You know, that's the whole point. You're not being honest, right? You're too scared to say you don't like this Doctor. You don't like this bland, mediocre season. At the end of the day, it's not difficult. Just admit it, right? So really fed up with these people. Oh, this fandom. Oh, this fandom. It's dived to an all new low. Has it? Has it? Why? Why? Because people are saying it straight. Oh, by the way, everyone, Chris Chibnall has promised us an epic New Year's Day Doctor Who. Well, I feel a lot more confident about the episode now. Chris Chibnall, this man who's written quite a few episodes of Doctor Who in season 11, who's, you know, been the showrunner, tells us it's going to be epic. So what's your idea of epic? A Dalek with a rainbow pattern on it? I'm really worried about what he's going to do with these Daleks, by the way. Is it going to be a Dalek? Yes, look, it's not a spoiler. The Daleks are in it. Let's cut the crap. They had to reshoot the whole bloody episode because season 11 has been received so badly. So after him trying to be a smart ass with having no classic monsters, he actually had to reshoot and put the Daleks in. Yes, that's the way it is. He had to go back on himself. He had to dumb down on himself. He had to backtrack because they have to, and it has to be an epic episode because if it's not, people ain't going to care that it's not on for a year or so. So apparently he's promised an epic episode. I just feel that, you know, look, I want to love it. You know, you may not believe that, but I want to love Doctor Who. Jodie yet hasn't become the Doctor for me. I said this ages ago. It takes me ages to embrace the Doctor. I don't really normally embrace the Doctor within the first season. So there's nothing new there. She can actually still grab me. And you can grab me, Jodie, anytime. But yeah, basically, she could still become my Doctor. She could become my favourite Doctor if she's done probably. Can't get my words out. Oh, and if you think about that grabbing Jodie thing being sexist, hey, she's an attractive woman. And, you know, I'm a virile, hot-blooded Mediterranean, and, you know, so she's married. So what? Life's about having fun, right? Let's just have fun. Let's dance. Let's drink. Let's have a good time. So anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on with Doctor Who right now. There's a lot of infighting between the fans. All fandoms have got infighting. You know, as a younger guy, I used to imagine that if you were a fan of the same thing, that you were all on the same page and you all agreed. But that was really naive of me. I've been part of so many fandoms who just don't agree. Some of us disagree in a nicer way. The Doctor Who fandom, unfortunately, doesn't disagree well. I've had so many horrible experiences, but I'm so thick-skinned and I don't care. You can't be a YouTuber. You can't do these videos without being thick-skinned, although sometimes when I dare to scroll down to the comments, I get scared. But actually, funnily enough, most of the comments, actually, I haven't read an arsehole comment yet. I bet you someone who's watching this now is going to go, wow, we'll do something about that then. That's fine. I can take it. It is a bit scary, but it is part of the thing. You can't complain about, you know, negative reactions. You know, everyone's going to have a different response to what you're saying. And as a YouTuber, it's like someone on TV or film, you've got to expect it. You've got to be, thick-skinned and mature, emotionally intelligent about these things. Yes, definitely some interesting things going on with Doctor Who. It is very toxic in the fandom. But what I would say to bloggers is you are part of that fandom and you are part of that toxicity. Because every time you say toxic fandom, right, you are part of it. And you stir it up in different ways. And you know that's true. Fandom is aggressive these days. It's true. I'm not going to lie about it. We are getting... Look, the reason why fandoms are so negative and dire right now is because of what ideology is being forced into our films and TV shows. This, of course, is triggering us. This is why it's happening. This is why there's more negative. But the people who are kind of gate crashing these fandoms, the ideological people who like what's going on, this is where the problems arise. We've had a lot of arguments within the Doctor Who fandom with people who have just recently joined the show via Doctor Who Season 11. And they believe anyone who criticises Jodie Whittaker should go straight to prison, don't collect £200. It's like a game of Monopoly to them. So at the end of the day, I think where I am now, I'm just ignoring people who don't like what I say because it's just boring. I don't mind disagreements. I don't mind, having a debate, but I cannot be involved with these people who think, how dare you say something negative about Jodie? Well, I'm sorry. She's put herself out. Look, Jodie Whittaker has blagged herself an almighty role, and a lot of people have fallen for it, hook, line and sinker. This woman is no more the Doctor than I am. The wrong woman, wrong place, wrong time. She would have made a great companion, though. Definitely. So I just think that's how I feel about it. The Russell T Davies era was beautiful, and this show really has hobbed along ever since. And you know what? I truly don't know what the future holds. Should we talk about the Snyder Cut? Yes, I think 2019 will be the year of the Snyder Cut. It's been an amazing, amazing year this year. We've had highs, we've had the lows of the Wall Street Journal article, which was such a horrible puff piece. And I think a lot of us thought the fight was over then. But so many things have happened since then. And of course, with Aquaman, with Jason Momoa talking positively about the Snyder Cut, and the Snyder Cut looking like, I think a lot of journalists in the movie media, forget the bloggers, I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about real journalists, are starting to talk positively about the Snyder Cut. I think 2019 could be our year. I want to see the Snyder Cut. I want to see this true version of Justice League. I want to see it properly. I want to see a Justice League where Henry Cavill's actually got his own lip without a moustache on it. For starters, that would be amazing just to see that. But, look, I suppose it's like a Christmas present that's wrapped up. That's what the Snyder Cut is. The more they don't give it to us, the more amazing we think it is. So there'll probably be an underwhelming nature of it when we see it. But I just want to see it. We need to see this film once and for all. We want to see Zack's definitive vision. And to be quite frank with you, I don't see the point in hiding it. It doesn't have to be part of the DCEU. It could just be a director's cut of a film that we get to see. And I think the hype has been so much about this, with all of us fighting for it. I think even people who thought they didn't need the Snyder Cut, who didn't want to see it, are now thinking, well, there's some intrigue going on with this now, isn't there? So I do feel that 2019, somewhere, it's going to turn up. I think it would be amazing. I want it in my collection. So if they just said you can buy it on Blu-ray or 4K, I don't mind. Love to see it in the theatre, but I don't need to see it in the theatre. I just need it here in my room so I can watch it whenever I want. And I'm sure all of you are the same. You just want to see it now. It's been a long journey. It's been, the heartbreak of seeing the theatrical cut, the Justice League cut, if you want. I try and be positive when I watch it, but it is difficult. I mean, there's a lot of great moments in that film. There is. It's not all terrible, but you know, we know there's something better at the Warner Brothers lot, and we have every right to see it because, you know, we do. Now, I want to talk to Snyder fans. I want to talk to fans of the DCEU about this. Can we stop putting down Superman the movie to prop up the DCEU? You can like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Superman the movie. You don't have to take a side. Now, it was recently re-released in cinemas for the 40th anniversary of Superman the movie, and people said it hasn't aged well. You're talking nonsense. I'm sorry. I can love Superman the movie. It's the first film I ever saw. It's the reason I love Superman. And I can still love the DCEU, BVS, MOS, Wonder Woman. There's no choice here. But to say it hasn't aged well is ridiculous. Of course it has. You go and watch that flying. That flying still looks amazing. And to be honest with you, I would say this. I think the flying for Superman in Superman the movie is better than what we've seen. Not just with Superman, but with other films. Because what Dick Donner did, the tech he used for doing that's brilliant. He has Chris on a pole, and Chris was so good with the body language, but the backgrounds and everything, the way they did it. Now, we know he's not really flying, of course we do, but it looks convincing even now. But you're talking about a film that was made 40 years ago, you know, a film that needed to invent techniques, you know. So we've got to be fair when we're saying a film hasn't aged well. I personally think it has aged well. Of course, once you see Man of Steel, it's hard to look at it with the same eyes. But, you know, when I first saw that film, it was amazing. It's the reason I love Superman. In fact, without Superman the movie, I would never have got into Smallville. So let's talk about Smallville. There's a little debate going on about what's better, Smallville or Arrowverse. I don't think there's a debate here. I think that Smallville is iconic. It's brilliant. The nuance in that series was something else. And for anyone to laughingly compare it with Arrowverse, which is just a joke. Arrowverse is a joke, right? I mean, Arrow had a great first 2 seasons. The Flash had the first 2 great seasons. But since then, the whole thing's been dumbed down. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, there's no debate here. There's no debate what's better. Smallville was amazing. You had a great Lex. You had a great Clark. You had Chloe. You had Lana. You had the best Lois Lane since Margot Kidder. You had it all. You had Lionel Luthor. The whole thing was amazing. Jonathan Kent is the father I always wanted, a.k.a. John Schneider. You know, Martha, everything. This show. And what about all the DC characters it represented? It did them so well. Absolute justice. Another great achievement. Connor Kent appears in season 10, the final season. Something we haven't seen in live action before. So it's just fantastic. Smallville is an icon. Smallville lit the blue touch paper. It's a show I will never forget. I'm rewatching it now. At the moment, I'm on season 2. I'm near the end of season 2. And I'm so excited to be rewatching it. In fact, I'm surprised that I've always tried to rewatch Smallville, but I've always been diverted by other stuff. I think because there's such a lack of quality on TV right now, I'm able to watch Smallville and remember it and enjoy it. But really, there's no competition. And Arrowverse is just a dumbed down piece of crap, in my opinion. I don't like it. I've tried giving it chance after chance. And again, it's this ideology. It's this politics that comes through it. I'm sorry. When you put a representation and ideology before entertainment and creativity, then you've lost me. I want to be entertained. I want to escape. The problem is with superhero TV now, and a lot of TV now, and a lot of film now, it's steeped in reality, and that's boring. Smallville was set in a place where it's, I don't know about you, but I've never lived in a town like Smallville. The Meteor Freaks, Lex, you know, everything. It was pure escape. And also, and what I called Smallville was the Bible of Superman. If you wanted to tell your kid one day about Superman when he was a teenager, you could just put Smallville on for them. A fabulous show. What Alan Miles achieved with that show, I think is something that will never ever be achieved again. So I just, I just think it was amazing. I loved it. I've got so much passion for that show. At the end of the day, when there are these debates, I try not to get involved with them because it gets heated. But I mean, I think Arrowverse fans are the gifts that keep on giving. But to even try and argue that Arrowverse shows are anywhere near Smallville is an absolute joke. The episodes of Smallville we had that broke so much ground. I would even say the Lex Luthor story, prop story arc was probably even better than Clark's arc. Clark had a great arc, but Lex, it was, it was a promise of showing us how Lex in Smallville became the iconic Lex Luthor, and I really think they did that. Arctic, which was his final episode before he came back in the series finale, that really rang true for me. He literally becomes what we knew he was going to become. But also, because it's the Smallville version, because Smallville is the ultimate Elseworld, isn't it? I love it at the end when the fortress is about to fall on them and he goes, I love you like a brother, Clark, but it has to end this way. Beautiful. It's so emotional. So he's not totally a cackling, moustache-twirling villain. He is the version of Lex Luthor that Smallville developed. And that was absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm going to do one of these geektastic shows a week. So what I want to do, I want you to comment down below and tell me what you want me to talk about. Thanks for watching. I'll be back probably tomorrow. I need to give my voice a rest because it's hurting.